There's something fascinating, isn't there, about the way the world reflects back to you. The way people, moments and circumstances, they seem to echo the parts of you that perhaps you've not fully yet embraced. You've noticed, haven't you, when those trigger you, it isn't really about them, but about you. And it's interesting, isn't it? How we naturally move towards pleasure and away from pain. How the things that make us uncomfortable, they seem like things to avoid, when in reality they're doorways. Doorways into understanding. Doorways into transformation. And the mind already knows at some level that denying something doesn't erase it. The resisting something doesn't make it disappear. The only way out is true. And it's fascinating how, when you shift your attention, when you begin to observe rather than react, something powerful happens. And as you listen now, it's easy to recognize every belief you ever held was once installed. And what's installed can be uninstalled, upgraded, replaced. Because all beliefs, they're just that, beliefs. And the old voice that once whispered, I can't, I'm not enough, I'll fail, it's only ever been there to try to keep you safe. What if you no longer needed that kind of safety? Just like a child once needed the rule, don't cross the street alone. But an adult must evolve past it. You too are evolving past the beliefs that once served you, but are no longer needed. So as you listen, as your mind begins to connect new pathways, you can allow the realization to settle in. That it's time to remove the outdated and install something more powerful. It's time to rewrite the code. And it's so simple, isn't it? To take that old belief, to break it down, to ask, is this always true? Could there be an exception? Could there be another way to see this? And as you begin to see the cracks in the old belief, you begin to realize you're free. Because there are always at least 3 ways to any solution. 3 ways to solve any problem. 3 perspectives you haven't yet considered. And as your unconscious mind already begins gathering solutions, a new reality starts to take shape. A reality where you're already confident. We already have what it takes. We already are powerful beyond measure. And it's interesting, isn't it, how easy it is to let go. To imagine just for a moment a computer screen, a table full of icons. Some are bright, beautiful memories. Others darker, heavier. As you reach out, as you touch one of those old heavy icons, something happens. You notice you can shrink it. You can make it small. You can move it to the recycle bin. And as you do, you feel lighter, as if something deep within you has shifted. And as you sleep tonight, your mind will continue the process. It'll find any hidden files, any forgotten burdens, and it'll place them in the recycle bin, deleting them, removing the emotional charge. And in the space they leave behind, new things can grow, new confidence, new joy, a deep certainty that you're loved, that you're safe, that you're more powerful than you've ever known. And as you wake up, things will be different. You might not know how, but you'll feel it, a shift, a transformation. And all you need to do now is let it happen, because you've already set it in motion. And the deeper part of your mind, the part that's always listening, it's already begun to change. Because there's a shift happening. It's already begun, has it not? That deep knowing, the one just beneath your awareness, the part of you that understands things before you even think them, is listening now, learning, adjusting, rewiring itself in the most effortless, natural way. Because something fascinating happens when you stop resisting and you start allowing. When you stop running away and you begin stepping forward. You've noticed it, haven't you? That when you turn to face what once seemed impossible, it changes, softens, transforms into something else entirely. And as you listen, as you absorb these words, you can allow that shift to continue, can't you? Because there was a time before you knew how to walk, before you knew how to speak, when learning was automatic, effortless. And now, just as then, your mind is absorbing, adapting, installing new ways of thinking, new ways of being. Because What once held you back was never real, was it? It was just an echo, a shadow, a pattern playing itself out. And patterns can change, can't they? Because what if, just what if, every single time you felt resistance, every time something triggered you, it wasn't a barrier at all, but rather a doorway, a signpost pointing to the next level of your own evolution? And what happens when you stop resisting, when you step into it instead? That's right, something changes. As you've already begun to notice it, haven't you? How the mind learns, not through force, not through struggle, but through experience, through realization, through those quiet moments when everything just clicks. And it clicks now, doesn't it? Because understanding, true deep understanding, it happens beyond words. It happens in the space between them, in the part of you that already knows. And as you continue listening, as your mind continues absorbing, a truth begins to emerge. A truth that's always been there, just beneath the surface, waiting to be recognized. That the people around you, the ones who trigger you, the ones who inspire you, the ones who frustrate you, they're mirrors, reflecting back aspects of yourself that are ready to be seen. When you recognize that, something shifts, doesn't it? And the old beliefs, the ones that whispered, I'm not enough, I can't do it, what if I fail? They dissolve, fade, transform. Because you already know, deep down, that you're far more powerful than you ever realized. And power, true power, it comes from understanding. And understanding leads to choice. And choice is freedom. And what happens when you take that old belief, the one that held you back, and you break it down? When you ask, is this always true? Has there ever been a moment, even just one, where the opposite was true? And suddenly, that rigid belief begins to crack, to loosen, to fall away. And in its place, something new, something stronger, something undeniably yours. What if you could install this new belief right now? As easily as breathing, as effortlessly as blinking. What if right now your unconscious mind was already making the change? Because beliefs, they aren't facts, they're choices. And you're choosing right now a new way of seeing, a new way of being. And with each breath, with each word, with each passing moment, that belief, it's settling in deeper and deeper until it's simply the way things are. And it's fascinating, isn't it? How something so simple, so natural, can be so powerful. Because you already felt it, that shift, that deep knowing that something is different now, that the path ahead is clearer than ever. And as you move forward, as your unconscious mind continues this process, you find yourself acting differently, thinking differently, seeing the world in ways you never have seen before. And you don't have to try, because it's already happening. And it feels good, doesn't it? To know that change is not only possible, but it's inevitable. To know you're no longer bound by the old patterns, old beliefs, old fears, because they were never you, were they? They were just echoes, and echoes fade. But you remain stronger, clearer, more aligned than ever. And so it continues without effort, without struggle, because this is who you are now. And there's nothing more to do, except enjoy the journey, and let it unfold, just as it's always meant to.